Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl the Notorious N to the I to the A, and today we are back with yet another fragrance video, but this time it is a bit different. If you ever wanted to know what your favorite fragrance notes are, there is a way to do that, which I'm going to show you guys in this video, and that's just to go through your current collection and see what notes are in your favorite fragrances and see which ones repeat, and that way you know what to look for when you're shopping for new fragrances. I'm pretty excited about this because when I came up with this idea, I was like, yeah, that would really tell me and be very insightful and help for future purchases, knowing what I gravitate towards and knowing what the similarities in my current collection are. I picked out 10 perfumes to test this out. These are my go-to fragrances, and so we're gonna go through them now. I'm gonna read you guys the notes and we're gonna see what it is that I favor when it comes to my perfume. Now, some of these notes are kind of tricky to pronounce, so excuse my pronunciation if I pronounce anything wrong. One note I know for sure that I love and you will hear multiple times is vanilla. So that one isn't going to be super surprising to me because I naturally gravitate towards vanilla fragrances, but I also want to know what are those other notes, those more underlying notes that I could have been overlooking. Definitely, I already know number one is going to be vanilla. I'm going to put that out there right now because I already know. The first fragrance we're going to start with is Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy Intense, and I just did a video on this fragrance which I will leave up above in the cards as well as in the description box so you guys could check that out. But the top note is ambrette, which is also known as muskmallow. Middle notes are orris, fig, and poppy, and the base notes are tonka bean, heliotrope, and barley. So next up we have Dossier Oriental Cherry, and I believe they changed the name of this fragrance, but I have Oriental Cherry, and this is a dupe for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. And the top notes are cherry, almond, cinnamon. The middle notes are clove, rose, jasmine, and plum. And the base notes are Peru balsam, tonka bean, and vanilla. So far I've mentioned tonka bean twice, so I definitely think it's safe to say that we could put tonka bean on the list because I have now mentioned that twice. Next up we have the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. The top note is pear, the middle note is rose, and the base note is vanilla, caramel, and amber. I've now seen rose mentioned twice when it comes to the middle notes, so I am just gonna note that in the back of my mind. I know I am not a fan of rose fragrances, but what I'm noticing here is that when it's a middle note, I think it works, so let's keep that in mind. The next fragrance is the Seven Virtues SANTAL Vanille, and if you know, you know this fragrance. We had a love-hate relationship, but I've actually really grown to love this fragrance. I love the way it wears on me. I love the way it smells. It's definitely one of those ones. The top notes are cardamom, violet, myrrh oil, coconut. The middle notes are vanilla, olabodum, and cedarwood. The base notes are Madagascar sandalwood, cashmere, and cocoa. Next up we have Commodity Milk. I also have recently done a video on this one, which I also will leave up in the cards as well as in the description box, and I actually do have a whole playlist of all my fragrance reviews, so I will also link that and put that in the description box just so you guys can see the fragrances that I have reviewed in the past. Top note in Commodity Milk is milk. The middle notes are marshmallow and natural musk, and the base notes are tonka bean and mahogany. So like I said, I think by now it's pretty safe to also put tonka bean on that list with vanilla because that is probably the third time that I have mentioned it. Moving on, we have Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb Nectar. Absolutely love the way that this smells. So the top note are gunpowder, cassis, and bergamot. The middle notes are as osmanthus, orange blossom, and jasmine cymbak. The base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and patchouli. Again, there is vanilla and there is tonka bean. Then as far as this jasmine goes, I did see jasmine mentioned one other time, so we can note that. as well, and that also was in the middle notes similar to Rose, so we will also keep that in mind. Next up, we have Viktor and Ralph Bonbon. The top notes in this are peach, mandarin orange, and orange. The middle notes are caramel, orange blossom, and jasmine. And the base notes are amber, sandalwood, I'm gonna put it on the screen, I'm so sorry, and cedar. I definitely know we saw cedar before, cedarwood. We definitely saw sandalwood before. We definitely had some orange blossom in the other Viktor and Ralph fragrance, so that's something to take note of. Again, we see jasmine, which has been mentioned a few times, as well as amber. So we're gonna put those in the categories as well and just see how many times we actually have heard these. Next up, we have Nude by Rihanna. This is a throwback, and the top notes are guava, pear, and mandarin orange. We've seen that twice, that mandarin orange. The middle notes are gardenia, orange blossom, and jasmine sambac. And the base notes are vanilla orchid, sandalwood, and musk. Y'all seeing the patterns? Because I'm definitely seeing the patterns. I'm kind of feeling a little bit predictable at this point. Another throwback by Rihanna, we have Rebel Fleur. And the top notes are peach, plum, and red berries. The middle notes are coconut, tuberose, hibiscus, and violet. And the base notes are vanille, patchouli, musk, and amber. Last but not least, we have Ellis Brooklyn Salt, and the top notes are ylang-ylang and violet leaves. The middle notes are tiare flower and magnolia, and then the base notes are ambergris, musk, and sandalwood. Those are the 10 fragrances that I chose to compare the notes in, and just by sitting here reading those out loud, I can definitely tell you sandalwood and musk, as well as amber was mentioned a few times, orange blossom, jasmine, tonka bean. Yeah, now I have a pretty good idea of some of the things that repeat when it comes to the fragrances that I already own, and I know what I can look for when it comes to purchasing new fragrances. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It definitely was helpful for me to get this insight into my collection, because oftentimes we're just buying perfumes and not really figuring it out what we like about them. But I think now I have a pretty good idea of the similarities and my kind of signature scent DNA, and this is across different seasons. This isn't limited to any one season, which I also love, because that lets me know that it truly is just what I like. If you try this, definitely tag me and let me know if it was helpful, and I thank you guys as always for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.